Welcome to Lovesick, the podcast where we dive into health, wellness, and relationships and their impact on the world today. Come be a part of the discussion and join our community by following us on YouTube, Instagram, and listening wherever you get your favorite podcast. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lovesick podcast. I am your host, Jada. With me is my lovely mother, Dorothea.
You forgot my name?
Mom. Wish we had Michael today, but he's traveling and, we'll have him next time. But we miss you, Michael. And today we have Ty-Leah. She is an influencer and a fitness trainer. And, God knows. We need to be talking about fitness anyway, especially during the holidays coming up. So this is a good time to have you on the show. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I also want to point out right now that these two women are coordinated right now. Me and Mama Black, like always, but they're bringing sunshine on both sides in the fall colors. So thank you. You both look beautiful.
You do too.
Thank you. So welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, this is great. The one thing I did want to ask you is, how did you become a fitness influencer? Like, what prompted you to?
And what is a fitness influencer?
Yeah, like,
just for people.
Just like one day I just want to be a fitness influencer.
Well, you know what? That is so funny that you asked that because I didn't have any intention on being a fitness influencer. That is the truth. Okay. Just because I was an athlete in school, so I used to post some of the workouts that I would do outside of our trainings. And then it just kind of just became a thing. And then people started commenting and was like, we want to see more workouts. And so I was like, it became second. Like, it was so easy for me. So that's kind of how I got started. It was like nothing that I was like trying to do on social media. It was just something that I was just like, let me just post and see what happens. Because I enjoyed fitness so much. And so I was like, let me just start posting, my day to day. People would ask, like, what do you do throughout the day? This is what I do. This is it. This is it.
I love, though, that you're into fitness because it takes,
a disciplined person.
It takes a disciplined person.
It does.
It takes, do I want to? Because I'm going to tell you right now. I am finally starting to work. I go like 5 days a week and I do bar method.
Oh, good.
This is my jam now.
5 days?
5 days.
That's good.
Yeah.
Most people don't do 5 days.
Right,
I'm married to it right now.
No, that's good.
You know what? It also it helps with my mental health and sanity and just like doing it. But I'm going to tell you, it was not always like that. I was going like 1 day a week being like, oh goodness, like me getting up being like, do I want to like do this right now? Because it does take discipline, right? Mm-hmm. And I think once I started noticing like a difference in myself and I don't just mean like weight or sculpting or anything like that. It's just like the habit.
Yeah.
And when I started being like, okay, I'm going to do 2 days. Okay, 2 days is making me feel so-and-so. I'm going to do 3 days. So I do think it takes a disciplined person. I was not an athlete. So I do know that's a whole other different kind of mindset. Yes. What did you play?
I ran track.
Oh.
And then I did basketball and track in high school.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that I was going to be this baller when I was younger.
Well, you're still a baller.
You're your own
not yet. Listen, not yet. We get to the baller stage. Not yet. So, it was easy. I think it takes more discipline when you're not an athlete.
Oh, wow.
That's the thing. Think about it, because it's like when your body's already trained and your mind's already set and this is stuff that you've been doing for a long time, when you are that person that's not and you're like, let me get up off here off the couch. Because there's only so many times I can be like, man, this is what I look like. I don't even want to look like what I looked like when I was in my 20s. Mm-hmm. It's not even that. It's just for me, I just want to be stronger. Right. And it's just getting older. It's like now I'm like, ooh, if I can bend down, like now I can like bend down without grunting.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. I can be like, not be like, ugh. It's like,
exactly.
And it's like basic stuff. Like I remember just going to the grocery store, getting something like bottom shelf squatting and just getting up. And then one day I was like, wait a second, this used to be somewhere. I'd be like, all right, pull the shelf up now. I'm getting up. So
I'm with you on that. That's how I be feeling.
Yeah.
And that could be a challenge too. It's like, can you walk people and tell them, walk through your day? Like when you first get up, what does Ty-Leah do as far as your workout regimen?
Jesus. The first thing that I do right now, my current schedule, is that I go and train other people.
Oh.
I'm not training myself until I'm done with all my clients for the day. So
Wow.
it takes a lot of mental strength to go throughout the day. Because it's literally from 6 a.m. some days, and I don't get back to the house probably like around 2-ish. So it's like, a
Wow.
couple hours, and then I'll eat something, finally put something into my body.
Yes, and that's the important part of it.
Yes, it is. Sometimes I'll go a whole day without eating.
Oh.
And so, like I said, it takes a lot of discipline because you have to make sure that you're paying attention to your health, your mental, making sure that you're intake, like just everything into one. So it'd be a long day.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you said that because we've talked about this even with like doctors and trainers and stuff. It's like you spend a lot of time getting that person, together, getting that person healthy, getting that person whatever. And then you forget sometimes like, wait a second, I got to take care of my own.
I got to do it
myself because without me, then how am I going to people?
Exactly.
What are some of the trainings and some of the things, the exercises that you do with your?
So I have a client base in between 40 and 60.
That's us.
So
That's great.
So, and I love that clientele. I started working with that clientele in 2021, and at that time I was at a gym, and and just learning the basic movements that people don't even realize that you can gain strength by, like simple things. Standing up and sitting on this chair right here. That's a squat, but people don't even realize that.
Yeah,
that's one of the techniques that I do with a lot of my clients to help with their knees, to help to open up their hips. Just simple things, just simple movements. A lot of times I feel like the fitness influencers that we see online, they're doing a lot of things that you wouldn't do in the gym. You wouldn't see in the gym. It's all about entertainment.
Yeah.
And so instead of going back to the basic things and just showing people that you don't even have, it's simple. Anything that we do every day is fitness. It's just how you do the pace and the repetition. It's just all about that, So that's how I train my clients.
That's very true, actually, because also I feel like there's an intimidation factor, which is a lot of times why people are afraid to go to gyms and don't want to do that stuff because it's like, I remember sometimes going to gyms and going to some of these like strength classes, and I'm like, this isn't for me, because people are like, come on, you got it, like whatever, and I'm like, I'm scared already, and it's like I don't want to be, you know what I mean? And so it's like it's also I think a good chunk of it is like people also being like, okay, well now I got to get myself out there, and what does that look like? And so I think having someone that you can show you. Basically, like you were saying, sitting down and standing up on the couch or is basic, squats. I mean, that's kind of that's big.
And for like people
everyday stuff.
Yes,
everyday stuff.
I mean,
That's
like
it.
people, Ty-Leah, in my age group, the 60s. I know it's
you look
important.
amazing. By
Thank
the way.
you.
You do.
But I know it's important as far as like making sure you're not falling like that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yes.
different type of workout, right?
Yes.
In reference to that, because now you want to make sure that you have balance.
Correct.
So how do you actually go about training someone that's in their 60s and trying to keep them flexible and, like Jada said, trying to make sure you can bend down without falling, falling down. So what type of training methods do you use for that?
So it's kind of similar to the sitting and the squatting. I always tell them, grab a chair. Let's start with the chair first. You're gonna, hold yourself with the end of the chair, and let's just do a high knee. Let's lift your knees up. Let's see how much movement we can get. And I'm always observing. I'm always doing an assessment to see how much mobility you have, because a lot of my clients that are 60, they do struggle with balance. They struggle with strength. They struggle with carrying groceries into the house. So, I'm always trying to focus on things that's going to help with the balance, but also that's going to really focus on strength. So I always like do simple, it's basic stretches, honestly. That's where I want to start with always. And then I go from stretching and then movement stretching. And then the movement stretching is the exercising.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it.
People probably don't.
Wow, they don't even realize it.
Yeah, you don't even, but when you break it down, when you
Mhm.
stretch, you lift, or if you pull your knee to you, that's a stretch.
Mhm.
But if you don't pull your knee to and you just lifting and keep coming down, lifting your leg up and coming down, that's a whole movement. But
Right.
now you're just not pulling it against your chest,
Okay.
So it's just simple stuff like that I kind of like. I always try to start with to see what you can do first,
Mhm.
and then as time goes on, now we're progressing. Now
Right.
we're getting, and then you're
Right.
seeing. Then I'm breaking it down to you exactly what I just broke down to y'all to like showing you this is where you started. Now
Mhm.
look at where you are,
Right.
and so that's how.
So what motivates you, Ty-Leah? Like when, say, for instance, you're not in a good mood.
Ooh,
You know,
Yeah.
you wake up and it's like, I do not feel like training no damn body today. So like what motivates you when you're kind of like at your darkness or like, oh gosh, I'm just not into it today? There has to be something that actually motivates you to keep coming back to train your clients and then work on yourself.
correct. That is a great question. I would say a lot of times with my clients, it's a therapy session. So I always get text messages of after our session saying thank you for just being patient, thank you for listening, thank you for not judging me, what happened in the
Yes.
session. And so a lot of times I think about that, you know, um, just the simple fact of if okay, I'm not feeling good today, but I could tell them this too.
Okay.
And then let them know, like, I was
Right.
not feeling good today.
You're human.
But
Yeah.
just like you just
Yeah.
told me you weren't ready for this session, guess what? It's two of us. So, it's just, I mean, I can't make it no blunter than that, So that's how I do it.
Welcome
though.
to the club.
But that's
Yeah.
legit. But
It
that's
is.
nice. Honestly, I would respect that true like moment, like
Yeah.
from a trainer, because it's like you do have your days, and I can't expect
Yeah.
you to come in here every day being like, we're doing cartwheels and I feel happy. It's like I feel like that too, but here we are and we're having my moment too. Why did you choose the age group from the 40s to 60s out of curiosity?
Great question. So I chose the 40 to 60 because when I started working in that age group, um, it showed me something about myself, patience, something that I felt like I needed to work on. And so in that, I just took pride that I had a lot of patience with the older clientele. The movement is not as fast as how I am. I'm very fast paced. I like to get stuff done.
Right.
And so in that, I just grown to appreciate like what it brought out of me. So to work with older clientele.
So
That's
that's
really deep.
and then in your expertise and different things that you've been doing as far as training, if someone wanted to find a trainer like yourself, what would be some of the tips that you would give to people and how they select a fitness influencer or a trainer?
That's good. Yeah.
Great question. Well, I target mostly females.
Okay.
And I say this. A lot of females, what I've seen, go to male trainers. It's not a terrible thing, right? It's not a bad thing because there are a lot of great male trainers. A lot of my mentors are male trainers.
Mhm.
I actually don't even have any female mentor train like that has helped me with the fitness when it came to that. Except my coach that was in school.
Mhm.
So I would say remember what it is that you want to work on and just men, they are great, but they don't know a woman's body.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't,
Mhm.
it's just that simple. We deal with a lot of things throughout the
Mhm.
month, and a lot of times hearing other women's stories about men trainers, they
Right.
don't understand, those times that we go through. We're very emotional. We're very, so, you know, I just find that a lot of women, they seek men trainers because they see a man's
Physique.
body,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
and you also have to remember that men shed quicker than us because we carry a lot of hormones, and we deal with a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
we deal with a
Absolutely.
lot, and so I don't think that a lot of females consider that because there's not really a lot of men that seek female trainers, and that's for that reason because you're a woman, I'm a man. So I just would say, definitely consider that. And if you do go to a male trainer, just make sure that he is considerate and remember that you are a woman.
Right.
That's it.
That's actually a good point because the men shedding weight
Mm-hmm.
faster than women a lot of times. And that's something that also can be very intimidating as well, though, too, because it's almost like you feel like, man, I just breathed for 5 seconds and I gained 10 pounds.
Yep.
But this person just, ran once and now they lost like 20 pounds. And that's kind of like, and I think the thing I like about what you said, especially the 40 to 60-year-olds and how you've learned patience, I'm going to tell you that just in my classes alone, the one thing I liked about going to bar with these specific women is because I saw women that were like 40s, 50s, 60s.
Right.
And I'm not trying to look, again, a lot of times I would be in these classes and like when the gyms and stuff, and there'd be like 20-year-olds, and no offense to 20-year-olds. I mean, I was 21, so my body would jump back in 2 seconds. Yes. But I was like, what is it going to look like when I get older? And how can I be motivated by the women now in these classes who are, going through menopause or, post-menopause. Exactly. But I'm just saying, like, you see these things and I'm like, that's inspiring. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. I mean, I'm 45. So for me, it's like, I want to be aspiring to look like these ladies that are older. So,
and you're right. That menopause, that's the thing. And most trainers,
and you carry
some of the male trainers. I mean, you don't know what that woman is going through. The menopause, being hot, and
your
all these
body
other
changing,
emotions.
Yep. Or carrying stress, and because think about it. This is where I'm not losing, right? But
and we're very sensitive about our weight.
Yes.
We said it at the same time.
We're sensitive about a lot of things.
True.
So it's just like, that's one thing, being trained by a lot of men or having mentors and stuff that I considered also learning is that, I'm still a woman, so that's, that's the best part of going into being a trainer and working with a lot of women. Right. I mean, I do work with one male, but most of my clientele is females, and I'm not biased to, females having male trainers because there's a lot of great male trainers. But I just want women to also just remember and consider that when you are, picking a trainer, just remember that your body ain't gonna look like his, girl. Right? Listen, yours ain't gonna look like his. It's gonna develop a little bit different. Okay, we can't have what we can't do that.
But that's the point. And I also wanted to say, like, it's how do you align with that? How do you? Because I know some people come in and they're like, I need to lose 30 pounds in a week. How can you make me do this? Like, how do you talk to some of your clients and stuff where it's like, look, some of these things, it's not a sprint, right?
That's right.
Or it's a marathon. What's the thing? Yeah, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
That's right.
I can't talk, but you're right, though. Right. Because I think, like, if I come in and I'm like, Ty-Leah, I want to lose 30 pounds right now because I got to be at this thing in a couple weeks and it's Christmas. It's like, how do you, like, put that knowledge in there, too, where it's like, look, we work with your body and how it is and these little things. And what is it like? Do you really want to be strong? Do you really want to lose the weight? Like,
I always ask, when they inquire online, I always ask them, what's your goal? What is it that you're trying to do? I want to let you know that there is a phase that I do. So a lot of clients, they do twice a week. That's good. Let's get your body moving. If you just want to make sure that you're getting your bones stronger, 100% recommend.
Right.
But if you want to shed weight and get stronger, Oh, we gonna
work it out.
Okay. It can get done. It's not gonna be in 30 days.
Right.
You gotta bring them back to reality.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Talk to
Yeah,
them.
you gotta check them.
Yeah, break it down. Like that's only 8. You only 8.
Yes.
You're only working out with me 8 times a month. So that means outside of that, you got to be going hard.
Yeah.
You know, you really do.
Yeah. And do you talk with people about like food and that kind of stuff as well, or diet?
So I do talk about it, but it's not something that I'm really interested in when it comes to like really teaching people, because I'm still learning myself in that aspect, and I've literally I've tried so many things when it comes to my diet.
I know that's right.
And, and so, you're still learning what works for us, So I only tell the truth about what worked for me, what I seen changing my body, and, the foods that I inputted, what it did. I just be honest about that aspect. But when it comes to like giving like nutrition plans and stuff, I'm working on doing more of that now.
Right.
Because I am learning and teaching myself. But as far as when it comes to like doing, just really be honest about.
Yeah.
You don't need. It's all about blood type.
Yeah.
When it comes to your food.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about that as well. It's like just because you're eating carrots every day, my eating carrots isn't going to be the same for my body.
Exactly.
But it's true.
You know.
But I think it's we talk a lot about the mental aspect of things, and like we were just saying, you can't get discouraged if that person is like dropping those pounds faster or shaping better, because we all have different bodies.
Yeah.
That's hard. I mean, it's hard to come to that though, and I think that comes with age too and experiences.
But this is a funny thing though. I think about I think about, and this.
I don't know what you're about to say.
I think about how back in the day.
Oh goodness.
No, back in the day where most people, they would put the weight on the kids. Well, I have this weight because I had 2
You did that to me. She be like 20-something, and she like, it's because I had kids. Yeah, 20-something years ago, and now 40-something years later, she's still trying.
She's still using that as an excuse.
And my kids have called me out too, and I'm like, they're like 10, and my daughter's like, you gave birth to me like that.
Like, wait a minute.
Right. And I know I'm not the only one that actually did that to the kids, because I was like, I have this weight on because I had you. And she's like, Mom, I'm 45. And then you have to get to a point where it's like, okay, it's my fault.
Like, you can't use that no more, right?
Or my other daughter.
She really did try to milk it for a minute, though. I wasn't joking. That is not even funny.
But, I just had to, put that out.
I mean, that can change your body.
Yeah.
But
it changes. But then how do you relax? Because you so run, doing this and that. And how do you relax? Like, what do you do for relaxation?
Oh, honestly, just go home and just sit there. I have a game that I play that, some people may not,
What's the game?
What's the game?
Sims.
Oh, Sims.
That's great. That's like relaxation for me.
Hey, yeah.
Like,
because that's someone else's reality. You just gotta do your own thing. I love that.
And I used to enjoy it, in high school and stuff. So I was like, this is therapy to me. And also just learning more. Honestly, I'm always trying to learn more, what I can do better. Yes. If I have a client that is like suffering with something, I'm always like trying to figure out like, what can I do next to.
Now that's a good training.
That's just great.
That's a great
what I
one.
can do to help. So that's one thing that I like strive to. But that's relaxing. Yeah, that's what I do.
Do you work with anybody who has like chronic illnesses or any rare disease and stuff?
I do.
That's great.
Yeah, I do.
We always talk about things like that too.
I do.
Yeah. But and that's the thing about the chronic illness, because I actually have a chronic illness, and mine is similar to lupus, but it's actually called, and I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called pulmonary sarcoidosis. That's what I have. And so let me just tell you briefly what that is. Yeah. So it's like an inflammatory illness, and it causes non-cancerous granulomas that can attack any major part of your body. 90% of the time, it affects people's lungs like it did with me.
Wow.
But it can attack your skin, your liver, anything, a major organ of your body. Now, the thing about that is it happens between the ages of 20 and 40 years old when people actually been diagnosed or misdiagnosed, one or two, because a lot of people get misdiagnosed because it mimics so many other illnesses like lupus and tuberculosis and multiple sclerosis, all these different things, right? Just to name a few.
Interesting.
But it affects hundreds and thousands of people.
Wow.
Every year, like globally, men and women.
And it attacks the lung.
Well, it can't. 90% of the time, in my case, it attacked my lungs.
Wow.
Now, to look at me, you wouldn't think that. But inside, there's a lot that goes on sometimes.
Yeah.
And so it's important for me to definitely move and to do things because of the inflammation and watch what I eat to make sure that I'm not contributing to the inflammation throughout my body.
That's right.
So, but that's why we did this show too, is because there's a lot of people that would love to meet with someone like you to get on the right track and do things. And that's why we said, we'll have you work with people that have an illness, because a lot of people do want to have that. And that's why a lot of people, I think, go to women trainers.
Yes.
Because you have more empathy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Women, the hormones, we have more empathy for people. And you want to make sure that, you're not like harsh and you're there, you're genuine. And like you, I would pick you as a trainer.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because you can tell that you do care about the people that you're training.
The therapy session.
Yeah.
It's true. Right?
It happens every time.
But my point, I guess what the point is that when you have different people, everybody's at different levels.
That's right.
You can't think that everybody's going to be at the same level because you don't know what they're going through.
That's true.
And so many people can get intimidated because they might think, oh my gosh, I can't do that. I won't be able to, catch up or do this. Right. But then, you have to start somewhere. And like you said, what I really liked is when you said, just getting up from the chair. That's exercising. That's moving. Yep. But you may not think about that, know. But
did people look at you when you were crazy though? When you're like, you can sit down in a chair and that's part of an exercise?
No. They you know what? It's funny. They give me the same reaction that you two do. Okay. Like literally, they give me the same exact reaction. They'll be like, now wait a minute. You mean to tell me I could have been doing this? And then sometimes it's the bench press, that bench that I use to have them sit because we're normally like in the gym. But it'd be that simple. I'd be like, just sit on the chair and come back up. Some people can't do that without touching their knees.
Yeah.
Without using
a simple thing like simple that. Thing. You're right.
Wow. Try to stand up, keep your hands up and just use your legs.
Wow.
Whoa.
You see how simple that can, it sounds simple, but when you try to do it, a lot of people, they have to have that support on their knees, Right. So it's just simple things that I pay attention to when I ask them. Like I said, I'm doing an assessment myself to see what it is that I can help to, so you won't have to do that extra, use that extra support. So
that makes a lot of sense.
How do you feel at the end of the day though, after you train someone and do you, but in a good way, like you have made someone's life a little bit better, a little bit easier. Like, how does that feel?
It feels good, honestly. It does. It feels good and then it's stressful sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's therapy session. So, you now go home with somebody else's problems, you're thinking about. So it can be, it has its goods, but it also has its bads too, But I do feel good because people like to vent to me. They like to talk to me. I open up in an environment to where, it's comfort and I feel good as a person because I'm not a trainer that goes to the next session telling what the last session brought to me.
Wow.
Yeah. So it feels good, it feels really good.
So who was your mentor? Like who gave you the best advice growing up?
Ooh, the best advice growing up. That's a great question. Because I learned from every single person.
Yeah.
That is the honest God truth. I had like made up in my mind that I can learn from everybody.
That's true.
I can. And I always find something good in everything that people teach me.
Right.
There's some things that I may not agree with. And then I hear somebody else say it. I'm like, let me look into this. Let me try it. Let me try it. You the second person to, so I can't even say that there's a specific person that gave me the best advice growing up. But what I will say is my coach, Coach Turner. I talk about her so much. She was an Olympian for Jamaica. She was amazing, and she was an amazing head coach. And she always told us like these phrases. She would say, "Big heart," and if and big heart was like one of the things. Like always walk with a big heart. Always. Okay. Like you got a big heart, baby. Like and then do you want to be average or do you want to be great?
Okay.
That's one of like the
that's stuck
that
with
I
you.
say. Oh yeah. It's stuck with me for sure. And I carry it with everything that I do. Like,
so they're your quotes now.
Yep. They're I'm a coach for a school as well. Okay. And so I always tell my athletes that every single time, do you want to be average or do you want to be great? Because I know what I know what it feels like to be great.
I know that's right.
So I would say that for sure, like she inspired me and she was a woman head coach and she was dominating.
Right.
Yes.
So that's inspiring as a young Black woman. Yes. Seeing that and the way that she pushed like hard work, champion. She didn't lose. She wasn't a loser.
That's just like the Olympics. The Jamaicans was kicking butt in the Olympics.
Yeah, we know about,
Yes,
and
that's
what, and she led in that, and it inspired me, and I just feel like only certain people can know or knows what that feels like and actually takes it and carries it.
That's true.
So I take that every day with me.
Yeah. Now you're doing the same for others.
So like, what's a fun fact for you? Like things that people wouldn't know about you other than the training. So what is it that you could tell people that they would not know that, oh, what Ty-Leah does that?
Something that you want to share though.
I mean, I guess it wasn't playing the Sims game because people threw that, people wouldn't expect me to be playing, video games.
Right.
I mean, the only other thing that I would say is a lot of people don't know this, but I got a man. So
all right.
Because everybody's always wondering, and so
she said it on here.
Yeah. All right, did y'all hear
I said it.
She said what she said.
I said what I said, okay? Now y'all can stop being those.
Now they're gonna go right to yours.
I know, they're gonna be like, because it's snippets, it's snippets and stuff.
Love it.
But yeah.
You gotta.
It's only a little bit you give here and there. Can't give everything.
Protected.
That's
right.
Well,
speaking of Instagram, how do we find you online?
Yes, so you can find me at Ty-LeahBH on Instagram, and then on my site, www.Ty-LeahBH.com. On YouTube, the same exact thing, Ty-LeahBH. And then, I'm now trying to get more active.
Oh my goodness. That is a runner's life. Oh yeah, that is a runner's life.
Yes. So that is my site there where you can book.
Look at her.
And, just come and try me out,
Well, look, they look at that body. You're beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, and not just body, just beautiful in, your personality.
I love your personality.
You have a beautiful personality.
Thank you.
And so you're in the right career industry, like for sure.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But then the body, it's like, hey, I want
great energy, great body, great quotes. But you got a man, y'all, so don't be sliding in her DMs.
Oh, thank y'all. I appreciate that.
So, yeah, we appreciate you. Yes. We appreciate having you here, and we just, love talking. We love getting to know new people and learning new things, and
we learn every day.
And we do on the show. We learn a lot.
Yeah, we do.
And if Michael was here, we do miss Michael.
Yes.
If Michael was here, you would have loved Michael.
I'm sure.
You would have loved him too, because he would have asked even more questions.
And he's an athlete too, and he's
Yeah.
a coach. And,
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
So he knows that life. He's
Yeah.
about that life too.
Yeah.
So he knows that life. But that's something that we learned about you. I didn't know you were an athlete. Well, you are an athlete. 'Cause you're still an athlete.
Yes.
But that's nice. So what? Before you go, what are the ages of the kids that you teach as
Oh,
far as the track?
Oh yeah, because a lot of people don't know
Track
that
and
I
field.
coach as well, and so I do high school.
Oh,
Yeah, so the kids are 14 to 17.
you have them right at the peak where
Right
right at that peak age.
You
Oh,
do.
but it's a private
Yes.
school, so you
Yeah.
know it's only so much that I can do as a coach
Yeah.
right now. And so but it's okay. I really enjoy what I do, so I don't complain too much. I still complain, but
But that's normal. That's life.
Yeah,
that's life.
It's
That's,
like you can't.
Yeah.
So, but I do. I
Yeah.
enjoy.
You
it.
do have them at that age where they really would need a mentor and
Yes.
somebody that has,
Yes.
that will give them the encouragement
Yep.
to move on and go forward, even if they think they can't.
Right.
So you have them right at the perfect age,
yes, ma'am. Yes,
But
ma'am.
on that note, we thank you for coming
Thank you
here.
so much for having me.
And it
I
was a
enjoyed this
pleasure meeting
conversation.
you.
It was a
And
pleasure.
maybe we can do a part 2 or something.
Yeah,
for something
when
else or
Michael's
whatever
here.
you do.
Yeah, whenever you want to.
Yeah.
down the
We'll
line.
talk about that. Like if you have some new additions and expanding what your services are,
Yeah.
then you can keep us posted.
Absolutely, I will.
And
Thank
maybe
you.
sometime after the new year when everybody okay.
Ooh.
When everybody
Yes.
tries those resolutions.
When everybody trying to get it done. Y'all know everybody got that goal right before the new year. I'm like,
It's so funny though.
I know.
Because I
I'm
used to
gonna
be one of
do
those.
that.
And I'm like, I can't. But
I don't even do that anymore.
I know. I stopped doing that too.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But
let
you
me
know,
just
the real discipline is when you start during the holidays.
Oh God.
see. See, you should think about that. 'Cause
That's
you were like,
the
I'm
real
gonna wait.
discipline.
I know.
And I'm talking to
I know.
myself as well. Because,
Okay.
I like to eat. I do.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
to eat.
I mean, you can't.
But that's
have
the
to
real
eat during the
discipline.
holidays.
But
Like-
that's a perspective because you will have that discipline if you
Mhm.
start
If you
at the
start there.
holidays. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till after the holidays. But
But that's what a
does
lot of
make
people do,
sense.
though. That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah,
So
that's
I feel
Yeah.
like
Majority of the world. do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
Mhm.
gosh, okay.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. How about
It
y'all
is a
challenge
challenge.
yourself? You
Yeah.
can still eat, but just not eat
Okay.
as much.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair,
That's
right?
yeah, it
That's
is.
somewhere to start.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say Ty-LeahBH told me.
Still can eat,
Ty-LeahBH
but not so
told me.
But
much.
not as much. Take some of this off my plate.
I thought the calories didn't count on the holidays.
Yeah. And then make sure you still work out.
Yeah.
Yes.
That same day of Thanksgiving
Oh.
and Christmas. You gotta still work out those days.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You can eat, but still work out that day too.
You know what? That's
Yeah.
fair.
That's
Yeah.
fair, right?
Yeah, that is.
Ty-LeahBH says.
Ty-LeahBH said we'll be at Thanksgiving. Ty-LeahBH said.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yes,
That's
no,
true.
I-
That's
how you
true.
start.
That's
So you can
totally
still
agree.
you still
Yeah.
do what you want to
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
but just add that exercising in.
Wow.
I actually would feel good though of knowing that I like worked out and then
Yeah.
ate a
Yeah,
bunch
then
of
you ate.
it's stuff
Mentally,
Right.
yeah. You feel like
Exactly.
you done something. so.
To
But that's our new saying now. We're gonna say Ty-LeahBH said.
Every time, now you're in my head.
and you laughing, but we're serious. Some people like, Ty-LeahBH said.
And
then-
look, y'all
yeah.
both know it too. 'Cause
Yeah.
Y'all both here.
They be
That is
like,
fair.
what?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's
I like
That's
that.
the support. Well,
Okay,
anyway.
Ty-LeahBH, thank you so much
y'all
for
so
being
much.
on the sofa
Yes,
with
ma'am.
us and spending your Saturday
Yeah.
with us this morning. And we will be glad to have you come back.
Oh, and I would love
Yeah.
to come back.
We would
Thank y'all so
we would
much.
love to have you come back, and thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you everyone for listening and
Yes.
tuning in and
Subscribe and tell a
Subscribe and
friend
tell a friend.
watch our
Subscribe.
shows.
yeah.
Official
Thank
Lovesick
you.
podcast. All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you so